is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with the Western Conference predictions. This is the toughest list I ever made in this power ranking type list. First, for all the fans, I got to keep it real with y'all. If I have your team a little disrespected, I do not mean to. When you look at this list in the West, it's really no right or wrong answer. It's hard to make this list, and I don't really have a order that I'm stuck on. I feel like all these teams are interchangeable. I feel like all these teams can be 1, 2, or 3, 5, or 6. And when I tell you guys my list is just the honest truth of what I personally think right now and how I think the season is going to go. So I'm not trying to disrespect or sleep on nobody. It just you have to pick 8 teams, and where they fit on this is hard. And let's get into it. I'm about to go from bottom to top. Number 8, Portland. I think that's all right. I debated about it, but Dame and CJ, they have been a phenomenal duo, one of the best backcourts in the league. They have really been consistent making the playoffs. I do still have them making it. They just don't have enough proven players in their system for me to really pick them to go higher. But if they was higher, I wouldn't be surprised. But they have a lot of question marks on this team and a lot of players that I really got to see how they play with this team and this duo and Terry Stotts to really believe it. They might get off to a good start, they might get off to a bad start, or they might not have enough, but they beat up on the other teams. And that's why I think they're going to get enough to get in, but it's going to cost them to be the eighth seed and most likely a first round exit. 7, the Spurs. This was the hardest one because I feel like the Spurs are a great team. They have 2 great players. They got a lot of young players that can really play. They got a lot of veterans that fill a lot of needs and fill a lot of roles and give them different dynamics than what they had last year. But also, you know, I don't think they have enough elite talent for them to be any higher um, than being in the top 5. I think they got enough talent to be in the playoffs. I think they got one of the best up and coming teams with also having the veterans. But I also don't see them beating the great teams enough for them to really be high on this list unless they get on a hot win streak and close it out. 6, Golden State. This is going to be controversial because some people think Golden State barely going to get in. Some people think Golden State not going to be that high. But I still do have them in my top 6 just because they have Steph. They have D'Angelo Russell, who I've been riding with from day one. Even when he went through all the chaos and everybody was hating on him and going in on him, I was riding with him. And I said he need to step up. He need to knock down jumpers, get the jump shot more wet. He need to be a better playmaker. He did all those things that I said years ago, and he was all-star. But I also like Draymond Green. He got a little bit of a pay cut. Didn't really like it because I thought he was worth more, but he did it for the sacrifice and for having Steph and Clay on his team. And he's an ultimate team player and a winner. And I think he's going to anchor that defense and really have his breakout season that we haven't seen in a while because he had to sacrifice the most on the Golden State Warriors these last couple of teams that had KD and DeMarcus in them. So I think he's going to really get out there and have fun, and this should be a great season for him. And if he become a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, I wouldn't be surprised. When you look at Denver, this is a little low because based off last year, but I just can't put them as high just because they got a lot of players that have shown that they can play. They have another season of making it to the playoffs, making it far, and they should be better because of that. And they got a lot of their nucleus still together and intact. So I like Denver. I just gotta see that defense. I think defense is gonna really matter in the West because you have to beat the great teams enough to get a high spot. And when you're in the West, majority of all the teams are good. Is Denver gonna be woke every single game and bring their A game every single game? If they are, they'll be higher. I just see them losing some of those games. I see them losing some of the close ones because I still don't think they have a closer just yet. And they only can ride Jokic so far. And I think that that's going to catch up to him and make him 5th.
Lakers, I got fourth, and people gonna go crazy about this because it's the Lakers and they got LeBron and he's the GOAT and he's one of the top players. They have the best duo, but when you look at a lot of their role players, they suspect. They really, and that's a phrase that us in Wisconsin was using. But they are suspect. They got some players that's old. They got some players that haven't been consistent in their entire career, and they got a lot of players that fell off a little bit. So I don't really know what version of those players that we're going to see this season. But I do know Anthony Davis and LeBron make a hell of a match. They're going to be impossible to. They're going to be unstoppable. But is their defense going to be good enough? Can they put the teammates make enough shots around them? That's going to be the question. We know what LeBron and AD can do. We got to see what their role players can do on a consistent basis. They quit last year. I feel like the Lakers quit, and I think they try to find a good reason to fire Luke Walton, and he's not going to have that this year with Frank Vogel and Jason Kidd. And they have a decent roster, but a lot of those guys we don't know what they're really going to be. Utah got high. I got them third. I wanted to put them higher because I feel like they got everything that you really need to succeed in the West. I feel like they got everything you need to succeed in the regular season. I don't know about the postseason, but we're predicting the regular season. They have been a good regular season team. They took their offense to another level, adding a lot of these pieces. I think that their pieces don't really hurt them defensively, and I feel like Quinn Snyder gonna have them on the right page anyway. And they still got Gobert, and they still got Mitchell, and they upgraded the point guard spot with Conley, and Bogdanovich had his best season. So when I look at the West and I look at this team, they're gonna be able to score more. They're gonna be able to get a higher amount of shooting, which they lacked last year. They got better shooters this year, and Donovan Mitchell has been one of the best two guards in the league the past 2 years. And we're gonna see if he take his game to another level. And they're gonna need it because they're gonna need somebody that's gonna be able to close out games. I know Mike Conley is a closer, but he might not have it every game. So they're gonna need that second guy. And this is Donovan Mitchell and Gobert's team, and I think they're gonna step up for him. So I'm high on Utah this year, and I'm higher on them than the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. I just feel like as a team, they're gonna understand how to play and win games, and that's better than talent sometimes. So Clippers number two. I know everybody's Quinn, you're a Kawhi Leonard fan. You've been voting for him for MVP, and he hasn't done it. It's just Paul George. We just don't know when he's coming back. I think they'll be fine, but they got to still build that chemistry, that camaraderie. They got to find ways to master the defense, and it might come with some kinks in the beginning. But I think by the end of the season, they will eventually have what it takes to be number one or number two. Kind of like what we've seen in Toronto. They had nicks and kinks throughout the whole season and still won over 50 games and finished second in the East. I think that's the same thing that happened to this Clipper team. They got the best defense when it comes to perimeter. I still question the inside a little bit, but they got some shot makers. They got some guys that can lock you up. They got some transition opportunities because of steals and blocks. They're gonna be a funner team to watch because of that. And I think Kawhi Leonard is clutch. I think Paul George is clutch. I love me some Beverly. I love me some Lou Will. I love me some Harold. And I love me some Doc Rivers. And he's a guy that has seen it all, done it all in the NBA at this point. And he is one of the best at getting players the best shots, the easiest shots, and knowing how to use and get the best value out of his role players. So, only thing that's going to really hurt them is injuries. Because a lot of their players have had major or a lot of minor injuries. And I think that might come to play this season and might stop them from being number two. The Heat, they was a team that underperformed sometimes in the regular season, same with Golden State, even finishing second under the Rockets and stuff like that. So, when I look at the Clippers, I think that they have figured it out when it matters most, and that's all that matters if they win the ring or get far in the playoffs. The Rockets, I think, with Mike D'Antoni and Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they are fantastic regular season players. I'm high on the Rockets. I think they're going to be unstoppable. They got the shooters, they got the inside, they got James Harden who destroys teams, good, bad, great, in the regular season, and he's durable. Same with Westbrook outside of the knee injuries, which was freakish. I think Russell Westbrook gonna be reinvigorated. He's gonna be more excited, and how they got their offense and how it flows and the opportunities he's gonna get. He plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, And he's going to have a chance to do that every single night with this Houston team. They like to get up and get down sometimes too. They like to slow it down. And I think that's going to benefit Russell and Harden. I was a person that said that James Harden and Chris Paul was going to work from day one. And I think that they can speed it up a little bit more. That work for Capella. That work better for the shooters, getting spots and getting some quick shots without being contested. And I think Matt D'Antoni knows that. And I think he's already ahead of that. And I think that health-wise, they should be fine too. Bench-wise, I think they'd be fine because Harden and Russell going to play a lot of minutes. And at the end of the day, this is my list. It's crazy. It's going to be a lot of debate, I believe, on this list. But this is the list I'm turning in. So let me know what you guys think. If you agree or disagree, whatever you feel, let me know in the comment section below. And I got Rockets coming out number 1. Now, it's going to be different in the playoff, guys. The Clippers, the Rockets, the Lakers, it's going to be a totally different thing in the postseason. Trade deadline doesn't come to play because this is the roster they have currently right now. So keep that in mind. Trades and stuff don't count. This is just based off how their rosters are constructed. So with that being said, if I had to pick the teams that's going to be great in the playoffs, we're going to have to wait and see on that. But when we talk about on paper right now to February, I think the Rockets going to be number 1 in the West, just like they was the first year Chris Paul and James Harden got together. And I think that they're going to win 60. They're going to be unstoppable. They're going to be hard to guard. And to me, they're going to be fun to watch. And that's a win-win for all of us. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies. I break down players. I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.